It is now.
Welcome to A View from the Stands podcast. In this week's episode, we have another guest. We've got ex-Southampton Academy player Jean-Luc Ramdin to join us. Hopefully this is something you enjoy, so if you do, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Spotify. Thanks for tuning in and enjoy.
After a 2-week break, welcome back to another episode of A View from the Stands. In a week, or 2 weeks should I say, where there's been even more football than ever before. A certain team might have won a certain competition, and everyone might be getting a bit fed up about the football being back. We're back again with another podcast. We might especially have another guest later on, which will be good. But I suppose there's been a lot to talk about since we've been away. So how is everyone?
Good, thanks.
Great. Brilliant.
Absolutely living the dream. So
Loving
I suppose we'll start with the big elephant in the room. Is it finally happened? The inevitable happened, and if I'm going to be honest, it wasn't as bad as I feared it would feel, to be honest. But I don't know if that's just me. So I suppose we'll go to Alex. How are you feeling after? Obviously, if you're not sure about this, you probably shouldn't be listening to a football podcast. But if you aren't sure, it's obviously Liverpool winning the league I'm referring to. So Alex, how did you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, because I've been waiting for it all my life. It's like you don't really. I kind of imagined it was going to be a bit different. You know, I imagined being unconscious in Liverpool somewhere about 5 a.m. But I think it'll settle in more when we play City and they give us a garden. Do we?
Oh God, yeah.
Do we like lift the trophies?
Is that allowed?
Yeah, I don't know.
2 meters and all that. Oh, a bit dodgy.
Yeah, but no, it's funny. It's just funny to see all the rival fans as well try and get something to say about us. But that's pretty good, to be fair.
I'm guessing the trophy gets lifted at the last home game season.
Yeah, you'd expect. I think would be in front of everyone. Oh wait, no one. Absolutely no one. See,
I was having this conversation today about when one of my friends is a big Liverpool fan. He lives in Liverpool. He was saying he reckons trophy parade will probably be around Christmas time, which would be a bit weird. Everyone lining in the streets in the winter.
The Christmas lights will be on.
Yeah, they'll be turning the Christmas lights on during it.
I did say that. I say
a double celebration.
He invited us and said, "Oh, would you fancy coming up? It'll be a good night out." One, absolutely no. And so, what's the standard of procedure for that then? Is it a few pints of the Christmas markets, off to the trophy parade for Liverpool? Halfway through a season, I mean, Liverpool could be lifting a trophy, having a parade for it. Well, they're sat 7th down in the league or something, couldn't they? Like, which might miss the mood a bit then. But no, obviously fair play to them.
Did anyone see after? Like the BT coverage after, and Kenny Dalglish and his phone kept
with his phone
going off.
Yeah. That was so
2
annoying.
seconds. Like Jake Humphrey said to him, "Your phone keeps going off," and he's just like, "Yeah," and kept it on with phone calls.
It happened with Jordan Henderson as well. He had like a
that
thing.
Was such a BT, that wasn't it?
Was it?
It's like
because they were getting
that was really annoying.
Because with Jake Humphrey, he couldn't really have a go at Dalglish, could he? Or he get
for it.
He couldn't go, turn your bloody phone off, bro. So
directors are in Jake Humphrey's ear, like they're in there saying, turn it off.
Yeah.
And he's like, turn it off.
I think I can hear your phone, Kenny,
Kenny, your phone's going off.
Do not disturb, Kenny, come on.
I'll tell you what I didn't like about that game. When Chelsea scored both goals, they went to like the Zoom call of the Liverpool fans celebrating.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I know that game, obviously massive. One of the biggest games in Liverpool's history in recent years. But when Chelsea score, show the Chelsea fans celebrate.
Yeah,
it's actually a massive win. It's a massive win for Chelsea, isn't it?
At full time, show the Liverpool fans. Don't show the Liverpool fans when, I don't know, who scored the penalty for Chelsea? Was it
William?
When William puts in the back of the net, the Liverpool fans going, yeah.
It's awful. Absolutely
get-
awful.
Never my club. Never my club.
Alex,
They won't even be
Alex
on.
is biting his tongue.
Villa won't even be on BT next year, so we don't.
That's fine.
Correct.
That's
FA Cup,
absolutely
mate.
I will touch on that actually. I had the pleasure of, I say the pleasure of seeing Villa play. I don't often watch Villa games, and obviously with all the football being on, you get to see everything. And Saturday lunchtime, it was. Obviously Connell as well had invested interest in the game, but it wasn't a great one to watch, was it, lads?
Oh,
I think my tea's done. So I'll
I went out at
Oh,
half time.
It was as easy as I
went-
predicted.
Got Nando's.
God, can we have a conversation about this Davis lad up top? The top for you, Tom. I mean, I honestly, and I might have just been just hating on this guy, but I've not seen a footballer play on TV in a long time where I've been like, my God, where? And then they were like, the commentators were like, oh yeah, they picked him up from non-league a few years ago or something. So it's like, oh, see, it makes a bit more sense now. Like they need a striker. He's probably. I mean, go on, can you touch on him?
Yeah, I don't know. It might have been a bit harsh on him there. He's got a bit of an unorthodox style. When he plays, he doesn't look like a footballer. Like, he's a bit gangly, he's a bit clumsy, but he was a decent young lad in the Championship. Thought he had a bit of potential, like when he played a few times for us over the last few years. But Sheffield United, the first game back after the restart, played really well. I thought he was probably our best player. Should have scored a couple. Then started the Chelsea game, and just nah. And then
I'll tell you, I'll watch
Newcastle
him again,
and Wolves.
I'll give him a second chance after that. I'll let him see if he's got it. What's his goal record like?
He's done more than Samata, I'll say that. So
that's
not really difficult, is it?
Samata's only played about 10 games on it.
Yeah, when I've seen Samata, I think he's quite good. Like he's quite clinical.
Did you see him against Newcastle and Wolves?
I missed that game. I did miss that game.
I saw the Wolves game.
You literally wouldn't have known he's on the. At least Davis got himself about.
Oh yeah, he started that game. That's the game I didn't see. Yeah, sorry, I'll take it back.
Tom, with Villa, is it just you get to like the 60th minute and then you just seem to always seem to be a bit competitive, and then you get to about 60, 70 minutes, you just seem to fall apart. It looks like.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. There's just nobody on the same wavelength as Grealish and McGinn. There just isn't.
I think really both teams were poor, and then obviously they introduced Traore, and then but the thing is as a team, I know obviously Villa have had their struggles. You can't be actively looking like you're fearing a player coming on as a sub. And it looked like that. It looked like as soon as he came on, they dropped. And
didn't the commentator say literally that Tyrone Mings said to Neil Taylor, wasn't it? He's coming on.
I don't know, but I think it's one of those commentators inventing conversations on the pitch up again. Like, oh, look at him. And as he's just gone through there, he said to the keeper, go on, have a bit of that. That one of those ones.
The worst thing about Traore, though, is the fact that he played for us and he was horrendous. Like, genuinely, look, a clown. Like,
it's mad, isn't it, really?
It's as if someone just saw him sprinting in a park somewhere and was like, shit, he's quick. Put some football boots on him. And we signed him. And all of a sudden, he weren't even that good at Borough.
He started off really slow at Borough, didn't he? And he actually got into things. I think Pulis liked him and he got him going.
I think Nuno's just done an absolute worldie of a job on him. He's actually told him to look up before he crosses the ball. And now he's a decent player.
He stopped hitting the stands now with his crosses, hasn't he?
I
tell you who I did rate actually for Villa was Douglas Luiz. What's he like? I thought he looked very good in possession compared to everyone else.
I think he's probably been our best player since the restart. I think these last 4 games he's been the most consistent performer, definitely.
Yeah, he looked good with the ball, whereas a lot of the other, Villa midfielders looked like they didn't really want possession of the ball that much.
Mm.
Yeah.
Sorry, could I go back to Traore for a sec? I was going to say, I think what
you like him with his top off, we know.
No, not that. Not that. I was going to say when he played right back for us, I think that changed.
Right back.
Yeah, he played
right wing back, wasn't it?
Yeah, when he came and played right wing back for us a few months ago now, I think he learnt when to have the ball and when to pass it off. So now when he's pushed him back up front, he knows when to cross the ball and how much space he's got, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean?
I remember seeing him against Southampton, right wing back. He was literally so quiet.
No, but I think
they took him off at half time.
He's learned when to have the ball and what to do with it in certain situations.
I think he has learned quite a lot in the last few years, hasn't he? I mean, he's still. How old is he now?
24, I think.
4, yeah, I think.
Yeah, he was starting really young, wasn't he? At Villa, he must have been, what, 19, 20? So
Yeah.
he's learned a lot in these last few years, quite clear. And now Liverpool want him. How sad.
Can't afford him, apparently.
Oh,
Can't afford it.
Oh,
Plays about
Well,
20 minutes a game.
we'll leave all the Traore talk for the group chat because he seems to pop up quite a bit, doesn't he?
Mm.
Yeah.
Starter,
Oh,
non-starter, Traore,
never me, I'm getting
Liverpool, not
involved
to
in that.
Liverpool. I suppose we'll touch on the second. I was going to say second division. That's an old term, isn't it?
Jesus.
The Championship. Proper your dad there, wasn't it?
Second division. Proper
Back
football.
in my day.
The Championship. So let's have a little rundown. Obviously, Forest. Good result the other day, wasn't it?
Yeah, great result. Huddersfield first half, we weren't anywhere near it. I thought we were going to be in trouble after watching the first 20. But then grab him, give him a chance. He's so clinical. He'll get you goals, and that's what he's done. And he looks different, I find, from before lockdown. He looks so much more fitter and like hungry than he was before lockdown. So that's a good thing for us, I think. But we've got
Has he
some tough
got rid
games
of
coming
that
up.
horrible beard?
No.
Has he still got it?
Me or Graben? No, he hasn't. But he's still scoring, so who cares? But yeah, we've got Bristol City tomorrow, so we've got some more tough games after that, like Derby and Fulham, Preston. So it's tough, but we're pretty solid in the playoff places now.
Leeds are going up as well, aren't they?
Yeah, they look good as well against Fulham, but Fulham looked awful.
They did,
I
yeah.
told you Brentford
really
are a team
bad.
to watch, didn't I?
Brentford as well, yeah. I think they are the best footballing side in the Championship, Brentford.
I
They've been for years.
would love them to beat catch
But
West
they
Brom.
haven't scored a single goal.
I would love them to beat West Brom.
I'll tell you what, we're still up there if we carry on.
What,
We're
for
7 points.
automatic?
7 points off auto, 7 points of going outside the playoffs. West Brom aren't looking great as well.
No.
You beat Huddersfield 3-1?
3-1. That penalty was bollocks as well, wasn't it?
Good luck.
Jesus Christ.
That wasn't great.
Suspect
referee.
keeping on one and Graben's goals, I thought.
Yeah, was that this
That's
first
volley.
one? It was nice
Yeah, it was
volley, though,
great.
wasn't it? Quite clean.
Yeah.
You know, you could have gone up for the header there.
Enough of that.
But no, I genuinely
where's-
think we could be in a chance either way.
Where's the headspace now? Then are you still hoping they don't go up, or every week are you hoping they lose
fuck
games?
it, we can go up,
so you don't
alright.
see them going up.
Half
Let's
so
go
they can
Carry away
go
with
up.
it all now.
Well, basically, you don't want them to lose, so you want them to win. And if they're going to have to go up, they can go up, I suppose.
Honestly,
Go on.
the thing was, did anybody watch the League Two playoff final yesterday?
Yeah.
It was so
Absolutely
weird watching them
horrible, yeah.
celebrate, and there was like no fans. It was so
Yeah.
weird. It was like and there was like no crowd. It was
The
so
thing
odd.
is,
4-0.
I don't get why they put the cardboard cutouts out of this picture of the camera. Like, it was on the upper tiers, wasn't it? Or like the top and the lower tier. You couldn't see the cardboard cutouts really, but
I know.
Yeah,
I think we just argue that we should just scrap cardboard cutouts permanently. To be honest, it was a niche. Who's go on then? We'll have a vote on it. Who's a fan of the cardboard cutouts?
I'm not really like. Yeah, it's all right.
Your face
Don't
is on
really-
your seat, in it, are they?
No, I haven't got. My uncle's got one actually. My uncle's got one, and Roy Keane's in our one as well. Have you seen that one? That's been flying around.
I was in there, Joe,
In the ice
Joe
cream.
Exotic at
Bin-
Leeds as well.
Bin Laden's at Man City.
God,
Wasn't it Prince,
Jesus.
Prince Harry and
Jimmy
Meghan
Savile
as
was
well?
at Leeds.
Yeah, Prince Harry and
Oh,
Meghan's
no.
at Forest. I think.
Mm.
Jimmy Savile
weird.
at Leeds.
Wait, does that mean
What?
someone's paid to have Prince
Yeah,
Harry
someone's-
and Meghan Markle?
someone's paid about
actual
50
money
quid.
for that.
About 50 quid to do that. It's about 20. It's like 20 quid for one or something like that. £25.
Right, I kind of get paying for it over if it's you and you just, I really want just like a piece of history.
Yeah.
Or if you're doing it as a really good joke, Prince Harry or Meghan Markle don't fall anywhere near that. It's not good enough
that's
banter
weird,
to be worth
awful.
the money.
Awful.
That's someone's mummy's done that, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, they seen the Bin Laden one. They've gone, oh, that's a bit inappropriate. I tell you what would be funny though if we put Prince Harry and Meghan Markle there. Wouldn't that be a laugh? Not really.
That'll
Mum.
show 'em.
That'll show 'em.
Absolutely awful. It's right at the front as well. How embarrassing.
God.
God.
I love
Yeah,
how someone in their heads had Prince Harry and Meghan Markle in the same like line of thing as Bin Laden and stuff. Is that how far they've fallen from people's like perception of them? God. And I mean,
Another thing-
I suppose. Go on, carry on.
Sorry, if you're going to carry on the The joke you're
Cardboard
running
cutouts.
here. You
Go
can carry on.
Yeah. No, you carry on.
I was going to say about the Championship again and Fulham, how Mitro's got a 3-match ban as well now, hasn't he?
I
Mitro.
saw that.
So that could also, because they rely on him massively. But it was horrible, wasn't it, that?
Yeah, it should have been a red straight away.
It was all kicking off in the Championship last weekend, wasn't it? There was about 3
There's loads
fights.
of red cards.
So that
Tom
Lawrence
Lawrence
derby.
or something.
There was Tom Lawrence. There was that, the Breading one on loan from Chelsea. And there was the Luton game where challenges were flying in.
Like
Things
6
you'd
in
love
a
to see.
row.
But Mitro Fulham without Mitro for 3 games. And Cardiff are looking all right as well. So we've taken the Doma off them, which is a bit off.
Harvey, hasn't a common theme with Forest been everything looks to be like hoping it up, and then you draw with like Wigan or something like that?
No. Tomorrow we lose 2-0 to Bristol City.
Yeah.
Saturday we lose to Derby. And who we got next after that? Then we probably beat Fulham 1-0.
Yeah.
It's all right.
That's how it goes.
It's Forest all over, but I have to wait and see.
And obviously, as well, just the last competition this week was FA Cup at the weekend, obviously, as well. So,
blimey, yeah.
I tell you what, that's got to be one of the best semi-final lineups in a while. To be fair, to have not in terms of having all of the conventional top 6 in it, I suppose. To have 4 of them in it is obviously make interesting semi-finals. To be fair,
it was a shame with the Newcastle game, because if Dwight Gale didn't miss that open net, then it'd been 1-1, wouldn't it? And I thought Newcastle could have gone done something, but
Such a terrible miss. Terrible.
It was, got absolutely battered, didn't they?
it's looking like I think City will win that FA Cup. You'd imagine, although Chelsea look good, don't they, since the restart? So
I actually
they
think
ain't beating Ollie's trickies red. So
if Norwich had made it to penalties, I think they would have won it.
Yeah, Tim
Norwich
Krul's
would have definitely won it.
Tim Krul's one of them keepers who don't want to face him.
They definitely would have won it. They definitely. I didn't. Obviously, they're not the best side, but as well that affected them in extra time is they had to bring all their better players off, like Buendia, Campbell, all came off. So they were kind of holding on to that penalty shootout, and it was touch and go whether they made it. Obviously, we get a fortunate goal. Probably deserved it due to the balance. Even though we weren't that good, we completely dominated anyway. We bit of an off day, so I mean it'll be good. Hopefully we can get a trophy under because obviously with Liverpool winning it's been a bit I can't be bothered with football now.
A team which has struggled since coming back is Sheffield United, haven't they? They've been really, I don't think they've won yet, have they? They've had 4 games and they've struggled, so maybe their momentum's gone.
About, didn't we?
Yeah,
said that I think on the episode before it all started again. They're a team playing on momentum and high confidence, and that the break could have knocked that. And I think it showed because they're poor against us, very poor against Newcastle.
Should have won though.
Yeah, should have won though. What about that goal, Tom? Eh?
What?
Technically, they should have won.
Disgusting. That was.
Rules of the game. They should have won.
Disgusting that was.
Honestly, if you stay up on that point, I'll just be all up.
I'm pretty certain it's going to be Bournemouth, Norwich, and either Villa or West Ham.
Right, remember? Let's go back. Yeah, start of the season. Crystal Palace away. Right. We're 1-0
Grealish tried to dive.
He's got a full list of it, hasn't he? He's got a full
Henry
list.
Lansbury has scored a perfectly legitimate goal to make it 1-1.
Yeah, but the ref blew his whistle.
And it's called off. And he shouldn't have done, mate. That's the point.
Yeah, but Tom, there's a difference between not getting a penalty and being disallowed a goal that's gone in.
We're not getting a penalty, mate. We scored a goal.
But
Lansbury
they scored from it,
goal.
yeah. But Grealish did try and dive. Grealish attempted to dive. You could see his foot was dragging across the floor as he fell down.
Oh, wow. I'm not even going there with that.
Sorry, mate. Them the rules.
So basically, right, we'd be on 28 now. With just that extra point, we'd be out the relegation zone.
Watford are in it again, aren't they? I thought they looked all right until...
Big Nigel's got to get him out, isn't he?
Yeah, Nigel.
Big Nigel's going to get it out,
Come on, Nigel. Sort it out.
But yeah.
Tell you what, Southampton though. What a job he's done at Southampton.
Since that
considering they lost 9-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, since that, I mean, they've been in top, aren't they?
Imagine if Danny Ings gets top scorer as well.
He's quality, though, isn't
That's
he? He's
actually
quality.
crazy.
Absolutely clinical.
And we sold him and kept Origi.
Yeah, but
Origi's class, mate. Origi's quality.
the thing with that, he was too injured, wasn't he, all the time? That was the problem.
Yeah. But look at him now flying.
Could be like
Absolutely
when
flying.
Kevin Phillips won the Golden Boot when he was at Southampton, or was it Sunderland? I can't remember.
Sunderland.
He only won the Golden Boot that season. They're a pretty average side.
Ings for England.
Definitely.
Right.
Definitely.
Just before we get our guest on, I suppose we should quickly check in on the fantasy league.
Oh no! Actually, we've all had very good weeks recently.
The average.
I'd overtaken Connell. I'd overtaken Connell for a brief, like, however long, like a night or two.
Yeah,
Alex did that to me at the bottom as well. But
very close to me now, Jordan.
It's actually relatively close together, though. It's the only league I'm in where there's less than 100 points between everyone. The leagues I'm in, there's like 200 odd.
It's because you had Martial captain, wasn't it?
Yeah, you've had an absolute joke of a week, that last one, Jordan.
Yeah, I know. I've just, been studying it, like not overthinking it, just go with my heart rather than my head, and just like following the players through there. Stuck with the United players, so that might come back to bite me tonight.
I played my free hit this week. I mean, it's not doing me very good.
Where are we at with it? So we got Connell for those of you listening, Connell is currently leading it by, I'm guessing these are updated ones, by 9 points. And then there's a bit of a gap now, 42 points between me and Tom. I'm second, Tom's third.
It's quick maths, that is.
We're about 27 points behind. Tom is Harvey, and 2 points behind Harvey is Alex. So still all to play for. I mean, I don't think anyone wants to finish last.
Absolutely cruise control at the bottom.
Cruise control.
He bottled it, I think. I think bottling it is probably the apt
the thing is, when like real life Liverpool, so when I was like, I don't need virtual. I don't need I've got actual. No.
This one again. Obviously, not many weeks to go with that, like there is the season. I think there's probably more to play for on the fantasy football than there is. Well, I don't know, though. Villa, will they go up? Will they stay down? Connell, will stay unbeaten?
Definitely is the answer.
Do you know what? We laugh about it. I don't even think the way they're playing, I think they could. I'm
slightly worried.
Knock it out.
I'm slightly worried.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
I'm pretty sure.
Europa League, though.
I'm pretty sure Harvey said that if that does happen, he's on the next episode naked with me. You know what he said? Is that what he said?
Yeah.
God. I'm guessing it's time we get ready to introduce our guest.
Get in the guest.
We've got another person in again who used to play football at academy level. So, Jean-Luc, thank you for joining us, mate.
I'm doing well. Not too bad.
You good?
Yeah, man.
Would you like to just quickly introduce sort of like what your background in football is and sort of to our viewers what sort of things you've done?
All right, sure. So I started playing for Southampton when I was like 8 to 16. Over the years I was there, I got recruited from I believe North Baddesley Park, just Sunday League. Had a few other trials when I was younger. I had trials with Chelsea, Portsmouth, Bournemouth at 8 years old. But I decided to go Southampton. It's local. I support them, so why not? Save my dad the journey. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then at 16, I didn't get a scholarship, so I decided to go to college. I played for England schoolboys under 18s when I was 17. Also played for Hampshire and captain Hampshire. And then I decided to go to America just on a scholarship, play soccer, football, whatever, over there. I'm still there. I'm halfway through my 4 years, just done 2 years. So, that's my football career so far.
How are you finding America as a whole, football-wise, living?
Yeah. Football-wise, it's actually very good. It's better than you think. So, I kind of went over there, definitely underestimated it at the start because I was like, well, I'm going to be playing Americans and like, they ain't too good. You know what I mean? So I was thinking it was going to be a breeze, but then I realized that most of the teams are internationals. So you're not competing against Americans. You're competing against Brazilians, Mexicans, Italians. You know what I mean? So it's a wide mix. But it's really, really good, man. Like, I'm enjoying the football out there. It's busy and it's hot. I'm in Texas, but it's enjoyable, so it's good.
Sort of. So, just a little background. Who are you playing for out in America, and what sort of thing?
In
What does that
America.
entail, like training wise?
Sure, yeah. So I'm playing for well, I was playing for West Texas A&M, which is a NCAA. I don't know if you guys know about the college sports, but NCAA Div 2. So I was playing for them, and first year we did really well. Actually, we reached 13th ranked in the country, and I got a ring we got to the Elite 8, which was really good, just final 8 in the nationals. And then second year wasn't too good. I got injured like very early on in the season. But yeah, and then now I'm transferring to UHV, which is Houston Victoria, which is an NAIA Div 1 team. So looking forward to that in August or whenever I go back, because I don't know with the virus.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Anytime, bro. But yeah, we'll see.
Obviously, you were at Southampton for ages, as you said. I remember actually having a trial there when you were there, and you were obviously because they played trialists against your lot. And I just remember then you stood out to other players. You were rapid, like quick movement, off, touch. You had it all, didn't you? Really? Do you know why Southampton did let you go?
Did let me go? I don't know, man. I feel they make a big mistake. I'm joking. Nah, I can't say that. I'm still associated with them. I'm not trying to talk too bad, but nah, they're really good. So honestly, many factors, like in just being completely honest, I was a late developer. So in terms of sort of physical strength and also yeah, like just physical strength, I wasn't quite there. Do you know what I'm saying? So imagine I'm there, and really and truly, most 90% of the team are fully developed, so they're a lot taller, they're bigger or whatever. So that was a big factor. I think that's a key thing as well in academy football, which I'll kind of intel a bit later on as well. Is like, it's if you're a late developer, it's really, really against you, because in England, if you're not pro by sort of 18 or popping by 20, then that's it. You're done. Do you know what I mean? Whereas the American system, the college system, allows you to be 24 years old and you can still be pro. Do you know what I'm saying? So very different in that way. But also I had some tough competition, man. Like in the age group above, you know, there were many internationals in similar positions. You know what I mean? So we had Valerie, even though he's left side, he was international for France. I had Ben Cole, who was on the left side as well, who was international for England. I had a couple internationals on the right side. I'm like, what? I'm not even international. I'm not even national. You know what I'm saying? So it was
the thing.
Yeah, bro.
Southampton,
like difficult competition.
They're very well known for their academies, aren't they? Especially after the last few years with the stuff they've been creating and all that sort of thing. So I bet it was very tough. You must play with some like really good players when you were there.
Yeah, sure. And I mean, also, you know, when I'm looking at it, you got to be honest with yourself. And, you know, 6 to 12 weeks before, I kind of knew I wasn't getting a scholarship. Do you know what I'm saying? Just because I can tell just where I'm at. One of the things that really threw me over, was we had a tournament in Liverpool about 5 weeks before the decision. And I managed to have the best tournament of my life, bro. Like, literally incredible. Like, in our group here, we had, I think it was Shakhtar, Man City, and another English team, right? And we had, I think we drew against Shakhtar, and we beat the other team, and then we had Man City, and I played, and that was against Sancho, and he was on my side, and I scored the winning goal. It was 1-0, and I thought, you know what? Maybe I've just made my scholarship. Like, maybe not.
Yeah.
Come into the meeting and they shut me down. I was like, oh my god. Yeah. But nah, like, so just one of them ones. I feel like at that time I wasn't good enough. But funnily enough, you know, a year later, I'm a bit more developed now playing for England schoolboys. And for me personally, that was the best I've been in my whole career. So who knows if I played like that a year, you know what I'm saying? So it's one of them ones. But nah, great experience, Southampton, bro. Incredible.
How did England schoolboys come around then? Because it was during college, wasn't it, that situation? Yeah,
that's it. So to be perfectly honest, bro, I didn't even know that was a thing, you know, because I was in the academy system. And when I left Southampton, you know, I said I went to college, but I actually trialed out for many places. You know, I tried Brighton, I tried Bournemouth. I did the Premier League. What Premier League do, which is great, is exit trials. So for everyone who gets released, they set up these trials. I traveled Midlands, North, all sorts. It just wasn't working out, bro. It's just one of them ones. So England schoolboys, I was in college, and then I hear about the schoolboys. I was like, you know, what's that? This and that. So I've done all the trials. You know, I must have done about 6 or so trials just up and down the country, and luckily, I just made it through, and got the final squad of 18, and I was actually the second youngest there, which was I didn't even know, but it was sick. So that was great for me for my profile and to bounce back from being released. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a nice little thing to bounce back. So that was a great experience as well.
Yeah.
So what sort of teams were you playing? Sorry, what sort of teams were you playing? So like England schoolboys, what's that like?
Okay, so England schoolboys is basically the best 18 in the country who are not scholars for academies. That's the best way to put it. So everyone who's in education, or they don't even fully have to be in education, but yeah, so that's what it is. We were playing Northern Ireland, Wales, Scotland. We played Australia. We played the Royal Navy. We played Bury FC Academy. We played a lot of teams, but actually, we in the National Cup, we won that, which was sick. That was the main competition. So we beat Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and all of them, and I managed to start every game and have a really good tournament. So I love that. That's it.
Yeah, I remember seeing some highlights of that actually. I think it might have been on Instagram or Twitter or something like that. It did look really good. It was high level as well from what I was seeing in the highlights and all that, and a good experience. It seemed
like it was. And what's crazy is like everyone's like, well, if you're everyone who's in academies, they're the best, or scholars, they're the best people in the country. But it's really and truly, I look at that England squad and I think if you put us up against most academies in the country or most under 18s, I believe we're beating them. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We had people in our squad who went to play professional in Sweden, play professional in America from that England schoolboys.
Yeah.
So you've got professional scouts at our games. My friend actually, Frank, he plays for Östersund, I think that's how you pronounce it, in Sweden. And all of a sudden, 6 months later, he's at Emirates playing Arsenal with that
mad.
team. From England schoolboys, so it's a real
mad.
So yeah, that was sick.
No, I was just going to say, what was like the Southampton Academy like? Because we've all heard it's the best in England or whatever. So did they do much like different, or was it? What was it like?
It's incredible, bro. Like it's actually everything they say is and more. The Staplewood in Marchwood, that centre is so sick. So
yeah, it's nice now.
It's funny I say we're as if I'm still. It's in my heart. I love that club, bro. So if I go off, literally they're Category 1 academy. So basically, I believe there's 3 or 4 categories in England. Every country kind of has their different system, I think. But so to be Category 1, you have to have basically the top facilities. You have to have a certain amount of hours that the players are getting in between each age groups. You have to have, I believe, coaches with certain qualifications. You have to have like a psychology department. There's a million different requirements. It's like Ofsted, you know what I'm saying? They come in every so and you try. So I remember we was working towards Category 1 and we got it. And that's along with Arsenal, Brighton, Chelsea. These are Category 1. There's not. I think there's about 10 to 15 in the country of Cat 1 to come in. But it's top of the range. And if you look at it, I'm talking from I reckon 10 years old. 10 to 16. We have something called day release, which is where you come out of school. So you have to spend when you hit, I think it's 12 years old, you have 3 days out of school, and you only go to school for 2 days. So you already know I was buzzing about that one. Leave school and play football. It's a dream.
Yeah. It's the life. That is the life.
Well, bro, that was the life, man. My friends hated me for that one. They hated me. But what's crazy? I actually did 2 days instead of 3 because my parents and that. But that's
hey, education comes first. Education comes first.
That's what they say, bro. But geez, I don't know. But so yeah, I mean, 3 days a week. So day release. I'll just explain what that is because every academy in the country does that. So basically, you're there from 8 a.m. Yeah, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. So it's a full day. You would do 8 to 10 would be training. You'd have your training. Then you'd have a break. Then you'd have lunch for like an hour. Then you'd have gym from like 12 to 1. Then you'd have psychology for an hour. And remember, you're like 10, 11, 12 years old. You know what I'm saying? And then you'd have, gym for an hour. Then you have 2 hours of training. And then 2 hours of education. So this is all in one day, and that's 3 times a week. So you got 4 hours of training in a day, as well as gym, as well as this. So it's a real busy day. But if you look at it, you're that young and you're getting that in 3 times a week. you're probably hitting, as well as the other trainer sessions, you're probably hitting, I don't know, man, something like 16 to 20 hours of 14 to 20 hours of training a week, you know, so really getting it in. And they provide you with lunch and all these things. And so that was the treatment and the system that Southampton had. And really and truly what separates them is the sort of foundation of the psychologist, the media training, all these things that they do from young builds you as a character. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So trying to make you not just a footballer, but a role model. And I think that also, you know, makes you mentally tough. And it's one of the reasons why they produced, you know, Gareth Bale, Walcott, Chamberlain, all these guys. Like, it's crazy. So
that is, yeah. If you compare, it to what Nathan was saying about Swindon and how much they took in the education side of things, it's so much different, isn't it, between Swindon and Southampton in terms of the other side of like football, like behind, off the pitch kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely. And a lot of that's due to finances, but also it's due to ethos. You know? Something called the Southampton way. I can't remember the quotes and now. You would have thought I was in army. But yeah, and it really, that's what kind of separates them. You know, you got people like James Ward-Prowse and who've been there for so long, and Alex Chamberlain. And I remember them coming to us and doing sort of, you know, like almost like lectures. Do you know what I'm saying? Like like that, and that's them, you know, building up their leadership skills. Do you know what I'm saying? And they've got sort of pathway at Southampton, which it makes it realistic, but also makes it, you can see the route to the first team. You know what I'm saying? Like, you visually see it. So it's very believable, and really and truly, if you commit and dedicate your life to it, you know, it's very realistic for you to get there. I think it's funny, I was talking to my friend, Liam Daw, who used to play for Southampton as well. And we believe that a lot of it is not, we all have the ability to be pro. That's what we believe. You know what I'm saying? But it actually comes down to commitment at the end of the day, because you have to sacrifice education and social life in order to be a pro. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
Whereas for me personally, I was more balancing, whereas a lot of the people on my team were not. We just said, you know what? Fuck education. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, So in terms of, you know, balancing, it's a backup and it helps you in the future, but also it actually has a small detrimental effect on your football game because you're not committing as much. It's a tough balance, bro, but it's a risk you take to be a footballer.
Definitely.
You mentioned media training. Obviously, that's an industry where us boys are trying to get into. Is there anything from that year? Just quite interesting to see from the other side what they'd have been telling you.
Yeah. Of course. So the media training was it was, I'm trying to remember now. It was basically pretty simple. It was social media and media. You know what I'm saying? So it was in terms of practicing for interviews, you know, that you would have a strong social media presence. That was one of the things that they spoke about a lot, is how you act on social media. You know, I've definitely seen a couple incidents where we were younger and we want to post something or we send something out of line, and, you know, they're on our socials checking and they catch you and then you know what I'm saying? So the social media side was massive. It was, honestly, to be honest, it was just the basics of social media, you know, just in terms of, because you're a role model and you're really and truly a young star. So the mistakes you make now, they could affect you big time in the future. We've seen that.
Definitely,
2014 and your stuff. You know what I'm saying? Girls and all these things, and that's it. So when we went to, you know what? When we played, we was at a tournament in England. What's the national training centre called? St. George's.
St. George's,
St. George's,
That's it. And so we was at St. George's doing a tournament. Great tournament. Ajax was there. We played Dortmund. That was an incredible game. We won 3-1, actually. That was sick. But anyway, so we were there, and we had a strong sort of media training thing there as well, which was sick. And they had someone talking and like a massive, it was like a cinema room and things like that. And there was a lot of things about that, but I don't think I paid too much attention in the media. Trying to kick a ball, you know what I mean? Like, bro, like, jeez. But yeah, so that was also a part of it. Yeah.
Quality. Let's talk about players you played against, because I remember you said about Jadon Sancho. I remember you telling me about Jadon Sancho as well, and you didn't really get on with him.
Nah. me and him are good, mate. Me and him are good, you know. Still ring him up to
Bad
hey,
terms.
hey, Sancho, bro. What you doing? Nah, but you know what? Yeah, because you know, like I said, like honestly, that was, I don't know what happened to me, yeah, but that was the best game of my life. Like I just played so well, and I think it was bugging him, you know, because you got to remember, right? So he moved to Watford when he was 14. And this tournament is now we're 16. So we've been there, you know, year and a half, 2 years or whatever. We knew we was gonna play him. When we saw he was in our group, yeah, we thought, shit, we're gonna have to talk against this guy.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So we had to double up on that, but he was on my side, and I was just, you know what? I didn't really mark him like that, yeah, because that just weren't happening. He was just diving through, killing. Like honestly, best player I've ever seen, yeah. But like I said, I just had a lot of the ball, and I was driving through, and like I said, I scored the goal. So we had a little bust up. Do you know what I'm saying? Like he come over to me, he's been pushing me, and I was like, what? So I had my whole team come over, and the whole of Man City come over, and we're now bust. And you got to remember, this academy football, so it don't get rough and come.
No.
You know what I'm saying? For that to happen was a big thing. But anyway, so I was buzzing. But he, like I said, he moved from Watford to Man City for $500,000. You know what I'm saying? So you're 60 playing a guy worth $500,000. There's a lot of talk, and you know he was thinking he's this, but he is that.
Yeah,
so I can't even blame him.
That's what you're going to say. He knows already what he is.
But,
that's
yeah,
the thing.
So, no,
with that sort of thing.
Yeah, he knows his value, but he was honestly just he was just sick, bro. Like way ahead. You already knew he was going to be what he is today. Do you know what I'm saying? That's just facts. You already. You said players I was playing against. I was played against the Sessegnon brothers. You know, Ryan and Stephen, Tottenham. They were them
both
two
very decent.
Which one's better?
Ryan, I think Ryan better, but
Ryan, isn't it?
Both sick. Yeah. But the thing is like you I was playing against them, like I say, from 8 all the way through to 6. So every year we play teams twice. So these players like Sessegnon brothers, Reece Nelson, I'm trying to think of for West Ham as well. One of the, I think Noble's son. That's what I'm looking for.
Mark Noble's son.
Some of the guys at Chelsea. Yeah. That's it. I'm pretty sure it's him. I'm like 90%. We had a good little word. Yeah. He was good. Good little connection. It's funny. We had a kid from, I don't know why, but I just me and the Chelsea boys, because you know every year you're basically growing up together. It's a weird thing, but you play each other twice a year for 8 years. You're gonna be good mates. So it's me and some of the Chelsea boys. Guy who had sports goggles, and I used to wear sports goggles.
Oh yeah,
so
I remember now.
We just used to link.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Oh
the sports goggles quality. Like Edgar Davids.
Yeah. No, I say that's what I'm saying. I had a tissue in my sock when it rained, bro. White windscreen wiper.
Quality.
It was a mess. So those are some of the players. I missed out on playing against Beckham's son. I was pissed about it. I missed out. He played for Arsenal. It was a year up, but at least he got injured. And I was like, but I heard he was dead anyway, so I didn't really miss out on too much. Honestly, I heard he weren't good, bro. I heard he weren't good.
Yeah, he didn't want to play, I don't think, anyway, did he? He couldn't really be bothered to play in the end or something.
No, he couldn't. He went up to it. Do you know what I mean? He just went up. So,
became a model instead or something, wasn't he? I think. Is it Brooklyn?
Brooklyn, I think.
Yeah, he's pretty healthy now, isn't he? Modelling and all that stuff. He's happy days, isn't it? He's pretty healthy.
He's out there local in 4 games and that. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, what you doing?
So what's the ambition then? Obviously now in America, where do you see it going forward? Where do you see you playing in like 5 years' time?
So here's the thing: is like, you know, crazily enough, and I know I'm gonna disappoint some guys saying this, but I ain't trying to be pro. Like, I feel like I've done so much in my youth career that I'm content with and very happy with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I've reached a kind of a point of contentment, but also I have other interests. You know, that's the other thing, is like, you know, I'm into like my businesses and my music as well. And what's crazy is actually my my sort of business plan, and in fact what I'm doing now is related to Southampton, and you know, some of the links I actually have to the first team, like Jake Vokins. I don't know if you know
Right.
Will Smallbone,
Yeah.
Will Smallbone midfielder. You know, like they're my guys. Like, you know, I speak to them and stuff like that, and it's what kind of my business is linked in with that. So I'm still planning to be around the football industry. And what is amazing is I've been blessed. You know, a lot of people, you know, kind of say, oh, what a waste. Like, you know, you've done all them years here, you played all these things. What a waste if you're not pro. And it's like, but bro, it's not a waste, because the character I am now, I would not be that character if it weren't for Southampton. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All them years, all them lessons. We actually, sorry, I just talk a bit more about Southampton, but I didn't even say about the trips you did. So we went to America. We played in the Dallas Cup. That was sick. We played in Greece twice. We played in Portugal. All sorts of different tournaments. And that was from, I think I played in France as well, from 10 to 16. So all of these experiences were sick. And if you think about it, you're away from parents for 2 weeks. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's very good for your, you know, a lot of kids. If you imagine if you're in school, 10 years old, and you leave your parents for 2 weeks, you're going to be crying on you.
Yeah.
You're going to be throwing out the toys out the pram. So I think it was a good, and like I say, it's a good character thing to be away from that. So they were all really good experiences. We won the first cup for the club. Imagine that, the first international cup for the club, which was sick. That was in Greece. Yeah. We played, I believe it's Thessaloniki, one of the top teams in Greece actually, but that was really, really good. One of the memories I have, oh my Lord, we played in France, right? I can't remember who was playing, one of the top teams there, and semi-finals, and it was penalties. And I was just, and it was the winning penalty. If we scored a penalty, we would have won. If we missed, basically lost, right? We're all discussing in a huddle, who's going to do it? I was nervous, this and that. I said, you know what? I didn't even say a word. I just walked up to the spot, I was like, I've got this. Everyone's like, bro, I ran up for that penalty, absolutely scuffed it. I didn't think the keeper moved, bro. He's just looking at me. I was in tears. The whole time tears. I ruined it. Like, imagine this. Like, we're on the coach from France back to England, and I'm vexed. I'm just in my seat.
Yeah.
And the thing is, what people
Top Stuart Pearce.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, what people forget, is like when you're in that in an academy, the circle is very. You don't realize, but once you're in the system, the circle's elite. There's so many eyes on you that you don't even know. Like, anything that happens, it goes all the way to the first team manager and team knowing about it, which is, you know what I'm saying? So I've gone back to the club, and that was the worst few days of my life, man. I hated that. But this is the thing. It's all building mentally. You know what I'm saying? These things stay with you, and so that's why I say I'm always forever grateful for my time there and things like that. So I mean, it's really
I think everyone remembers in a penalty shootout missing a penalty and how bad it feels. Like whatever round it is or whatever game it is, you miss a penalty and it absolutely kills you. Like after the game, you're thinking, "Oh, I've just let my side down." But like you said, it's about building you up as a player and making you a stronger man or player person. So it's all good for you in the end, even if you do knock your team out or whatever game.
I know. It's very true. Very, very.
I was going to say, I just find it so mad that you've had to go to America to find football, and like you've had to go over there to get another chance. It's a shame that, although you said you've had all trials and stuff, but you've had to go somewhere so far away and so different.
Correct.
Is that what's helped you build, as you said, as a change a person as well? Like, is it totally different out there? So I can't even imagine
really?
as a youngster going out there. It's crazy. It shows you like how dedicated you are.
Yeah. And to be fair, you know what? The first part of what you said, is such a golden gem that people don't realize, is because, so in fact, we're going backtrack just a little bit in terms of what I'm saying about, you know, the English system. If you're not pro by 18, really and truly, that's it, you're done. You have very rare occasions such as Vardy, such as who's another one who's done that sort of Sunday league?
There's been many, isn't there? Millions.
There's been
not millions. It's rare. I'm joking. There's only been a few.
And this is sort of the fantasy dream with the non-league thing. It's like praying that you're going to be that next Vardy or whatever. And imagine we have to wish, hope and pray for that, right? But in America, what they do is they say, you know what? They say, fuck that. We realize that not everyone grows and develops at the same stage. Therefore, you know, we're going to create a university system, which I'm just seeing 9 minutes and I'm thinking, I got the content. Like, yo, a bomb's going to come off here, mate.
Ready to explode.
But that yellow amber sign, I'm like, I'm all right. But so in America, they're like, yeah. So they got this system, which is, you know, it's university sport, which sounds mediocre because in England it kind of is mediocre. I think from what. But no, there it's a serious thing. And the college, I say college, they call it university. The college sports sometimes are bigger than the professional. So you got basketball, which is arguably bigger in university than the NBA. You got NFL, which most people actually prefer college NFL football, American football. So it's crazy. But what they do is they say, look, you know, you can do your education, get your degree. My degree is in economics. You can do that as well as training like a professional athlete. So that entails training 2 hours every day, having a game. Imagine England doing this, right? Having a match on Thursday and a match on Saturday every week, as well as training 2 hours a day, as well as doing your education in school.
Yeah, that I was going to say, it must be so much hard work having to do this on the side, plus this, plus
that's it.
It's non-stop, surely, when you're in America.
Of course, and it's actually more. I'm thinking it's more difficult than being a pro in England or a scholar in England.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah,
university as well as 2 matches a week. That's unheard of. You don't do that unless coronavirus hit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so they did do that before Corona, but so literally it's very intense. But what's different there is this will baffle your brains here if you don't know. The season is August to November. That's the season, right? And then the off season. Yeah, I know. That's what I thought. I was pissed about that one, bro.
Yeah. You get about 3 months, aren't you?
Bro, but this is the thing. It's 3 of the hardest months.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, like you say, though, if it's 2 games a week like that, intense.
That's what I'm saying. You got potentially 10 hours of training a week, as well as 2 games a week, as well as traveling, flipping 6 hours down the road.
I was just about to say that. I was just about to say the traveling must be insane as well.
Bro,
I guess it's all on like in a bus or coach, whatever, as well. Or
of course. Obviously, you know, it's in a nice coach, and you know, often if it's long, let's say you play Thursday, and the place Saturday is nearer to the place you play Thursday than your home uni. You stay overnight for a night.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you do stay overnight and things like that, but it's a myth. And then you come back Sunday. Shit, I got a maths test Monday. You got to revise Sunday.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Difficult, but so here's
painful,
bro. So August to November is the season. Then you got January to May is the off season. They call it spring season. What you do in off season is you do gym and conditioning. Basically, purely gym and conditioning. That's almost it. You train like twice a week. Yeah, 1 game a month. It's friendlies. You know what I'm saying? So what the whole idea of it is that you have this off season period so that you get big, you get strong, you get fit, and then when you come into August, you're ready and raring for 3 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a different system, very different. But I think, like you said, sorry, you say about how life is in America. Life in America is different. It's very different. A lot of Cowboys where I'm from. I'm in Northwest Texas, so it's a little bit countryside. So the Cowboys generally run the town mainly, which is a crazy thing. I didn't even think Cowboys were
mad. Is that a thing?
Bro, they're real. Like people walk around campus with the cowboy hat, the belt, the boots.
like a proper sheriffs.
Proper sheriff, and they're the ones you should be frightened of. I can't lie. It's not these other big dudes. It's not, you know what I'm saying? So imagine this year. So I've gone into my first maths class. That's another topic. I thought I was done with maths at 16, but I have to do it again anyway. So, gone into my maths class and I've gone late, so it's all busy. There's this one seat, but there's this cowboy. There's one seat is free, and the cowboy next to it, I see this big knife on his waist. I'm thinking, I said to this, I'm not sitting there. The whole class laughing at me. I'm not sitting there, bro. You better. Firstly, I'm there. That's the first thing. Secondly, he's a cowboy with a knife, so I'm good.
Jesus.
Yeah. But funnily enough, bro, he's actually one of my best friends in America. How weird is that?
Oh, so you're now friends. So that kicked things off, did it?
What a way to become friends with him. What a way.
That's mad.
Yeah, so he kind of told me about his culture, his life, how he lives, and how it's normal to have knives on you in uni. By the way, all of these things, it's normal to have guns on you in your bag. It's normal to have that in your car. You're not meant to have it in your bag, but it's Texas. They're the most conservative state in the country.
I would crap myself. I'd run out the building if I could.
Crap yourself.
I'd be like, nah.
But this is the thing. It's amazing. Like, I'm so blessed to be young and have the opportunity to learn about this other cultures. Because I could have gone to metropolitan Texas where it would have been a bit more, a bit different, a bit more touristy, this and that. But I'm in the ends of Texas. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in the real, I get the real Texas, like the movies. But funny you say about running away. I've been to a couple parties where there's been gunshots. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, gee.
Yeah, there's been.
It's a whole different lifestyle. It sounds.
It's different, man. It's very different. You know what I mean? It's crazy, but
just sorry on Texas quickly. Obviously, Texas is known to be quite a very racist state. Obviously, with the stuff that's going on at the moment, Black Lives matters in the US and in the UK. How have you found that in Texas?
Bruv, I've been crying every day, bro. I'm joking. Obviously, like, I've had a couple incidents. You know what I'm saying? Like little incidents, nothing major, but it's one of them ones where, like, if you're, I don't know, it's about environment and it's about who you're with. Do you know what I mean? So once you're with good people, you're in the right environment, then it's all good. I haven't had nothing major, but it's one of I think it's partly due to ignorance, but also the culture's different. For example, right? If you say the N-word in this country, that's straight racism. That's like point blank. There we go. You know what I'm saying? If you say it over there, as a white guy, some people that sometimes that is acceptable. Sometimes it's not. And that's what So when I first went to training session, I don't know why I become friends with everyone who's flipping got a problem with me at the start. I don't know why. Or some weird situation, but I went to training and one of the guys was like, yo, what's up, my nigga? I said, and he was a white dude. I said, I'm looking at, because basically I didn't explain. I went to America with Liam Doyle, who was at Southampton with me for 6 years.
Yeah.
So we went to the same place and he looked at me and I thought, just calm down. Don't say that. I said, oh, bro, just don't call me that again. You know what I mean? Like, the culture's so different, you got like, some Mexicans, are they allowed to say? Yeah, mostly white. I don't know if they grew up. It's too much to handle, bro. So for me personally, I just said, yo, like let's not call me that because I'm not used to it. You know what I'm saying?
So sort of like coaches you've worked with. I imagine you've worked with a lot of good coaches. We've touched on Southampton being a very obviously good and well-known, well-renowned, very good reputation academy. So do you want to sort of touch on some of the coaches you've worked with?
Of course, yeah. I remember when I was younger, sort of 8 to 10. Oh, when I was in the development centre. Sorry for those years. Mark Chamberlain, he coached me for about 2 to 3 years when I was in that centre. And that's Alex Chamberlain's dad. Great coach, really great coach. And actually, I didn't even mention, but the development centre. So when you get recruited at that age, sort of into the trials, right? You have this center which is like 300 kids or so, and that's every 3 times a week, different kids. And what happens is over the years, not even over the years, every 6 weeks, you just get a letter sent home, right? And it just says, you can come back or you can't. So I'm going to that center for 2-3 years, and it's just cutting. And I'm just seeing, you know what I mean? I'm making friends, but then I ain't seeing them ever.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Cutthroat, isn't it?
It's cutthroat, bro, and such a young age. So that's what was happening. And luckily, you get to the final few, I don't know, let's say final 28 or something, right? Nah, that's way too big. Jeez, final like 20 or something. And then you get transferred into the Staplewood ground, the home centre. So I was doing that. And then I remember the day that I got signed. We played Liverpool. God knows why we played some northern team. Like, I don't know why they made that journey so young. playing Liverpool and I was playing on a wing, and then after the game, my coach Terry Moore at the time, he's certified in the game. He's been coaching for
Terry. He scouted me actually. That was
Terry.
Terry did that, yeah.
Everyone knows Terry Moore.
There you go.
He can't be that good then, can he?
Yeah,
Really?
what's he playing at, Terry?
Yeah, I'm them glasses that time, bro. What's going on? Oh, good. He's a funny character, bro. He used to call me Pocket Rocket, Brainiac. Bro, this guy was just strange. But anyway, amazing coach. But so yeah, and then after that Liverpool game, went in a meeting, and he was like, you signed, and I was buzzing. Obviously, like too happy with that. But just to show you how cutthroat it is, every year really it's a 1-year contract. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that 1-year contract because it keeps you on your toes. You know what I'm saying? Really and truly until you're 14, 16, 18, those are the 3 big stages. 14 because it's sort of that development phase. So if you get a contract from 14, sometimes it's 2 years, sometimes it's 1 year. Obviously 2 years, 16, and 16 scholarship, 18. That's when you're pro decision. So I got through at 14, but I think I have a feeling I think it was 2 years. I think I was on 2 years. So I was kind of chilling, but at the same time, don't be thinking of killing because you can still get cut like that.
Yeah.
What's a funny thing? There was a player. I'm sure you won't mind if I say his name. Jack Farrell Lennon. He was a really good player, right back, and I think we hit about 13 or something like that. And this was the first time I've ever seen this in my life. But he voluntarily left the club and football.
Really?
Yeah, voluntarily left, right? With potential, with everything. And it hit me because I was thinking, wow, like it really has a thing mentally on I'm just going to be honest. Like, I'm not saying he wasn't strong enough, but sometimes people can't deal with it, can't handle it, and that's the reality of it because it's so competitive, it's so serious. You got kids doing little things such as getting their parents to talk to the coaches about this and that, or say, hey, look, he done this by the way to thingy, and there's so many ins and outs and going on, bro. There's illegal things going on. You got you got your parents. Before the 16th decision, I'll tell you now, many people may have done this, but, you're talking now to other clubs, when you're on contract, you're not allowed to do that. That's a serious violation, but you're talking to other clubs to say, look, if he gets released, I want a trial here or get me in here. And them conversations can't be happening, but that's what happens. You know what I'm saying? So it's a very, for example, let's say your dad's a businessman, he's got a lot of money. What if now he speaks to the coach and says, you know what? I can invest in, you know what I'm saying? Like,
It's in like every
tapping
sport
people
as well. You have it in all sorts of sports as well. Even like looking at F1, the only reason they've got one of the drivers, Lance Stroll at Racing Point, is there because of his dad. Because his dad owns the driving company.
Exactly.
Things like that, which you can just there's little ins and outs, like you say, about it, and it works in their favour.
Exactly. You might say to the coach one point, or you might, be smart enough to build a good relationship, which is great. Hey, you wanna play golf on Sunday? You're down? You know what I'm saying? Like little things going on. But it's a smart clever game. But one thing I realised for myself, which I wasn't so clued up on, and which other players were clued up on, which actually benefited them long term, is when you hit, it's not even about age, but sort of when you hit 12 to 14, you need to be building up your social media. You must be doing that because what that does is it builds up your profile. So now, other clubs or scouts may see you on the internet, or let's say you go viral for a goal. Do you know how much that helps?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was very behind with that mentality. I wasn't proactive with that. And other players were, and therefore may have found a certain pathway at 16 or 18 through to other places.
If only they'd seen my goal that I scored from the halfway line.
Oh my gosh.
Is that the reason you don't play for Wolves now, Connor?
Yeah, I'm too good, mate.
No, if that had been seen, I definitely reckon you would have been in over a Dharma for the rest of the season at least.
Definitely.
You probably I don't know. You're a bit more built than a Dharma, aren't you? So
yeah, just
big man.
You know,
The
what I
guy
was
who
just
screams pace.
thinking- Screech face. You know, I was just thinking about sort of these sly little things you do. We played at Chelsea's ground, which, by the way, the best in the country. Their academy pro centre is just the best. We went there probably around 14 or something like that, 14, 15. And what they did is they made sure that the aircon was broken, but it stayed at a hot temperature, the hottest temperature.
Oh, that's
So when we went in there,
tactical.
so when we went in there for the game, it's flipping us. It's a sauna,
Mm.
literally boiling. You know, and we're to the point, and can we go in another? Oh no, they're all locked. They're all locked. So imagine that now. It's just these little things
Oh, I
which
hate
are
that. I'd hate that so much.
people are doing, to make sure that they win or whatever. It's mad. It's really mad.
Even at that level, though, like it's not even like the first team sort of stuff. Even like the lower youngers, where you're trying to teach them sportsmanship, you're trying to teach them like the morals and that sort of thing.
Exactly that. It's not even you're not even a scholar yet. Like geez, you're so young. But really and truly now, it gets more, like the younger you are, it's very, very serious now. It never used to be. It's even more serious because your net worth, your value goes up. If you're at an academy for more than 5 years in an academy, your value is 250 grand minimum. That's what it was. You know what I mean? That's what it was for me. That's what the players who've been there for many years. So it is kind of serious. I have a friend who moved from Portsmouth. Remember when they had their sort of financial issues, this and that?
That was a lot of that, wasn't there? When Portsmouth were in trouble, Southampton. I know a few people doing that sort of thing.
Exactly. I know players move from Portsmouth to other clubs, for 5 figures. He's 10 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, bloody hell, how is that happening?
Yeah.
Like, it's just incredible. But, yeah.
So I was going to say, so if you could give advice to someone starting the academy system, what one piece of advice would you give someone?
Starting the academy system. From from the young, like from 8.
From like a young age, yeah. Say even in the future, if it was your kid or something starting the academy system, what one piece of advice would you give them?
The one piece of advice. The one piece of advice I would give them is what you need to do, really and truly, is you need to commit. Do you know what I'm saying? It really is about commitment because, like I said, I believe most people that I've seen and in and around, they have the ability to be professionals. Do you know what I'm saying? Like so many, and this is the thing, it's like, well, you look at the Premier League teams, how many of that squad is English? Barely any. But why am I seeing every single day players who are definitely able to play in a professional game? Do you know what I mean? And it's simply a question of commitment and the pool of people you can scout from. Do you know what I'm saying? So I feel like commitment's a massive thing. And yeah, I know a lot of people say get the balance right, this and that, but it's a conversation you got to have with your parents, really. I'm at 8 years old. Look, at 8 years old, I feel like, you should do your extra bits at home. You should definitely study the game, be a student of the game. And what I mean by that is study it. So watch football, study it, analyze it, write things down. That's what I used to do, as many players used to do. Don't just be one of them people who are footballers who just play, but they don't understand. They don't understand tactics. They don't understand positioning, off possession. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, look, I'm around it up. 8 years old. What you should do? You know what? Focus on your talent. Like just self-driven. I'm going straight honest because a lot of the people who have made it through have been self-motivated, self-driven from young. So focus on that, and definitely at sometimes it's not at that age as well. You have to show off your own talent. So if that means doing certain things on the pitch to make sure you're showcasing yourself, do so. Because you're young. As you get older, you definitely have to learn about how to deal with things out of possession. That's what a lot of people don't realize, including strikers. The out of possession game is essential. Also, you have to learn to play the way of the club, Southampton way, which is pass the ball through the thirds, get the fullbacks high, all of them sort of things. So I think, when I'm looking at academies and other teams, the biggest difference I see in terms of on the pitch is the out of possession knowledge. A lot of people are clueless because in possession, there's some great players. Even at Itchen, you got some good players. You know what I'm saying? Like Jack Wilson, like them.
Yeah, quality player on this day, wasn't it?
But the biggest thing I see from non-academies is when they don't have the ball, the position is wrong. They don't understand tactics. They don't understand. Do you know what I'm saying? So this is the thing I think people have to study upon if they're serious about it.
So if we probably one of the last questions here. Looking at the Saints team now, how many of these have you played with? Obviously, a few of them have come through the academy now. We've got the likes of Jake Vokins, who's close. He's been on the bench a few times, I think.
Yeah,
Will Smallbones obviously got a new contract.
Got a 4 year.
Yeah.
No, so it's massive. So Will was there. Incredible story that he's been there since the very earliest. And what's mad is he's actually a Southampton fan as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's I look at our team that stayed throughout the years. I was the only one living in Southampton in the whole squad, and me and Will really heart supporters of Southampton.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Will Smallburn, he's in there in the mix. Got an assist for Ings the other day, which is incredible. Jake Vokin's been on the bench a couple of times. Great player.
He's played for England under something, I think.
Yeah, England under, I want to say 17s and 18s.
Yeah.
Left back, he can play left wing as well. Like brilliant player. Attacking wise, incredible. You've got Valerie, I've played with. Played against in-house things. Didn't quite get to against Obafemi, I don't think. Maybe I might have. I can't remember. He transferred from Arsenal when he was 16. Dan Delundulu, which is a forward. He hasn't quite made it first team yet, but he's killing it. So yeah, a
fair few coming through still. You don't really, since the Luke Shaw, Lallana, Chamberlain, those sort of days where it was those lot coming through. You don't hear it as much from Saints now, but there is still a lot coming through that academy.
Yeah, they're bringing a hell of a lot, man. They got great talent. I think so I think it's great.
We'll give you a little space now. Do you want to plug anything? Plug your social media? Obviously, you mentioned your business sort of ideas and music you do on the side. So do you want to quickly just explain that and sort of where people can find you for that?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'll do a bit of rapping as well. Do you know what I mean? But I ain't gonna drop my. Don't worry about that. Drop the beat now.
16 bars. Go.
16 bars. Nah. So yeah, my Instagram is r.jeanluc. Let me just spell that because every English person gets my name wrong. So, JEANLUC.
We'll put it on the screen. It's all right. We'll put it on the screen.
Yeah. That's my Instagram. I don't even know what my Twitter. Jean-Luc_15. So get that as well. I ain't gonna go Snapchat and Bebo and MySpace. You know what I mean? You can catch me online. But yeah, like I said, I do my music. I'm playing football in America. And I hope to. I think I'm gonna come back and play semi-pro. Just enjoy myself, this and that. Get a bit of money on the side. Why not?
Yeah, easy money for you. Easy money.
That's what I'm talking about, bro. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'll do that. And yeah, no, it's to be honest, it's been great talking to you boys. Like I've really looked forward to it.
Fantastic, mate.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for coming on. Yeah.
And good luck.
For inviting me because a lot of information, and I know I have a lot of hardcore Saints fans who ask me questions here and there. So it's good to have all of this now in one place.
Put out into the world.
That's what I'm saying. So that's really good, and I hope Saints FC don't come back to me like, yo,
you're letting all their secrets out.
Talk about me and the boys, you know what I mean, taking a couple footballs and that take but it's been really good, and honestly, yeah, Southampton Academy is just incredible, and they're still doing it. The ethos is great there and everything. So all the best with the club and everything, and the players as well, coaches. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, cheers for that, and cheers, lads, for joining us. Make sure you like, subscribe to this podcast. Find us on YouTube, Spotify, catch us on Twitter, Instagram. Make sure you like it and follow us, and we'll be back soon with another podcast. So thank you again, Jean-Luc.
No worries at all. View from the stands, repping. I like it.
Absolutely love it.
You heard it here first, so cheers for joining us.
I'll put it on my Insta. All right.
Yeah, definitely, mate.
All right, cheers for joining us.
Cheers.
That concludes this week's episode. Thanks again to Jean-Luc for joining us. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like this video. You can also listen to our episodes on Spotify and keep up to date with us lads on our socials. Thank you for listening.
And here comes Hurst. He's got some people are on the pitch. They think it's all over. It is now.